All right, so I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own. And we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. And you know what? If we've done absolutely anything today, and that includes taking a shower, then we're working. I was going to say something really smart, and I can't remember. But we're working at being the artists we've always wanted to be, but if we've taken a shower today, let's consider that an accomplishment. And I'm not trying to be funny. So many of us are down, and I'm seeing, I read everybody's comments, and I read everybody's emails, and I get back to everybody, because I have such a massive fan base. It's, very difficult for me. Only kidding. But I'm reading people's comments, and I don't want to say I'm glad I'm not alone, because I don't want people to feel the way I've felt. I don't want people to feel the despondency and the sense of hopelessness that I have felt. What I am glad to read is that in what you're hearing is a confirmation that you're not alone, and a validation that there are other people out there who are experiencing the same realities and the same terrors. I just went to visit a friend of mine today. He's at a gallery. He's in a space at a gallery that he's in today, and so I went and visited my friend. And Thomas, I can say his name. Thomas, as he said, is a cis white straight male. He should have nothing in the world to worry about as a cis, white, straight male. Nothing. And he has every opportunity in being all of those things to be cruel and greedy and selfish and to take advantage of others, as we've talked about Fat Pete next door. And by the way, that is his nickname. That is his official nickname is Fat Pete. He could be as dismissive and demeaning as Fat Pete. And Fat Pete will also stand for, we use Fat Pete as shorthand for all the Ron DeSantis's and Trump and, Bitcoin Bob, J.D. Vance, all those people. So Fat Pete is a person, but he's also an amalgamation of sorts, or a symbol. So my friend Thomas, who I wish I could introduce you to because he's just delightful, Thomas could be a Fat Pete very easily. But he's also married to a woman who's not from this country. She's from an Eastern European country. I can't remember which one. I don't remember. I think her name is Martha. I just call her Mrs. Thomas. So Mrs. Thomas is not a Native American. Okay, that's not going to sound right either, because most of us aren't, as we know. She was not born in America. She was born overseas. She has a green card, but it's like a temporary green card where it basically says we'll get back to you in a year or two. In the meantime, just sit tight and try not to panic. Well, here's the thing. With Trump's executive orders, Mr. Thomas and Mrs. Thomas's children were born in the United States, but because Mrs. Thomas had them instead of Thomas, Mr. Thomas, if she gets deported, because that is still like in crazy land, whether she can stay here or not, even with her green card and their marriage, if she gets deported, the children get to go with them, with her. And everything in their lives is destroyed. So it's so complicated and ridiculous and convoluted. And he's made these sweeping, well, the whole administration is making these massive sweeping decisions without thinking about people. You and I don't matter. Nobody here matters unless they're going to give that man $1 or 2 or 10 million or whatever he wants at that moment, or praise or worship. We all know the anger. We all know the frustration. We all have different fears wrapped up in it. And again, I don't want people to feel the way I feel, but again, if you're hearing a validation for whatever emotional distress, mental distress, physical distress you're under because of what's going on, I'm glad I'm able to provide that and that relief, sort of. There's no relief. Anyway, drinking out of Frida's head. How are ya? So what I really wanted to get to, besides that, is I have not deleted Facebook and not deleted Instagram. I have deactivated my Instagram account, meaning I've just taken a pause. And I did make a post on Facebook that said, I've been on Facebook for 14 years. I need a break. I didn't deactivate it yet, although I think I will. And it's only been a couple of days, but as the hours even... Okay, I don't know what's hitting the window. But as the hours tick on, I'm feeling more and more relief not being a part of it. Because everybody's angry over, not everybody, but people are either angry for Trump or because of Trump, or they're upset and they're frustrated, and everybody's yelling and talking at one another, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the whole thing. I'm tired of people talking at me on such a level. I am barely returning texts at this point, texts and emails. Most of the time I'm not, because I just can't take it anymore. People talking at me. I've been dressed down about 100 too many times. I can be pretty patient about stuff. And then there's a point where I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. So I've reached my limit. I hung in there as long as I could. And then I realized that the inauguration, the whole thing, all the shit that's going on, is only aggravating my clinical depression, and raising my anxiety to a point where I can barely function. So I put all that on hold, and I am focused once again on YouTube, as I mentioned in the last video. But I'm going to show you what I've been doing, because I'm not just making videos about me talking, where I'm endlessly talking, which we know I do, because there's the regular page on my phone. I have 870 videos that I've made since 2013. We are officially into our 12th year on Facebook, on this Facebook channel, Catalyst and Company. And as we know, because you're all paying such close attention, we know that when I first started this 12 years ago, it was Studio 120, named after my first studio. Then, I can't remember if it was 5 years ago or when it was, 5 years ago, I think, that I was standing in, not this place, but the last place I rented, and I was burnt. I was just like fried. I couldn't think anymore about what to do. We were in the middle of COVID, I believe. I think we were in the middle of COVID. Or beginning of it. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? I don't. anyway, I couldn't think of content to make anymore. I wasn't excited. I was just having so much trouble with it and stumbling and trying and just not getting anywhere. And it was right around when I stopped taking commissions too, because those were freaking me out at that point. People in general were freaking me out more or something. But anyway, we changed it from Studio 120 to Catalyst and Company to reboot me. Worked for a while, then I stopped working. Now we're back because I've paused Facebook, paused Instagram. I'm focusing here, as I just said. So we have 870 videos here up on YouTube. But then I've been doing things. I've been doing shorts again. I did shorts 2 years ago. I did a whole bunch of them, and they were all about the artwork. And then when I was in Georgia for the artist residency, when I was at the artist residency in Raven Gap, Georgia, at the Hambridge Center for the Arts and Sciences, when I was being fancy up there with my private studio and the private chef that we had, making all gluten-free vegetarian meals. Look at how fancy we are. Boy. Anyway, when I was up there, I started doing some short 60-second videos that I called 60 seconds apiece. I have a few, I've started loading them to YouTube. I have a few more on Instagram than I do here, and a couple more on Facebook. I'm not sure I want to go into either site right now and download them, but it started me thinking a few days ago when I put everything on pause about this 60 seconds of peace. Because that's just what we need. We just need some peace. We just need some peace. I don't need over-the-top happiness, happiness. I just need peace so that I can reach a level of happiness. And then I have a whole thing where I reward myself with goodness once we accomplish a few things. It makes me feel better about life and myself. But at that aside, it's all we need. We just need a little bit of quiet, a little bit of peace, a place where we feel safe in ourselves, safe in our homes, which right now I don't, but we just need that place where we feel safe and comfortable and calm and quiet. And so I've been doing 60 seconds of peace, or 60 seconds of me riding the bus, which happened today. It's 60 seconds of my feet, rather. I don't know what's going on over there. 60 seconds of looking at my feet while the bus rolls along. 60 seconds of birds in an industrial park. I had 60 seconds of traffic this morning. 60 seconds of peace and coffee. That's how I make my coffee. And it gets no more exciting than the water coming to a boil. There's no words. It's not me talking at you. It's not me talking about me. It's not me making dumb suggestions. It's just 60 seconds of peace and normalcy. I don't know if you've seen them, but like this was in Georgia. That was my porch in Georgia. So if you go into the reels, there's some of those. I'm really going to make an effort to do the 60 seconds of. Just quiet. Then I've got other ones like about my artwork and crap. A lot of them, well, I'm looking at some that are last year. Yeah, like, that's last year. This waterfall in Rabin Gap. So that's 60 seconds a piece. And I think I'm going to do that every day. Maybe a couple of times a day. So it's something we can share. A calm, quiet spot we can share. Okay? And one other thing. I mean, there's a bunch of videos up here from Studio 120 from 12 years ago. Obviously, the series goes on and on and on. 850 videos. Then I have something else going on, too. I have a friend. Apparently, somebody else watched this, but I have a friend named Julie who's not doing well, and she's sick, and I haven't seen her in 8 years now. I miss her so much. Anyway, she suggested, because I've been having a hard time communicating with people, except at like this, she suggested that we, especially last week was hard, but she suggested we start something called Wednesday Waffle, where we make a short video and send it to the other person with an update with stories or whatever. So maybe that's something you want to do with your friends. Wednesday Waffle. I think it's a great idea. Then you're not under obligation every day. You know, there's no pressure. It's just Wednesday Waffle. I just love it. We went back and forth this afternoon, which was really fun. And then I'm going to make one more suggestion. A long time ago, I started something else. Because, this was a number of years ago. Let me see if I can pull it up. I put together a series of videos called Let's Make. So there's a whole bunch of videos under I didn't put them on, I thought I put them under a separate channel, but I didn't. But they're called Let's Make. And I'll try and find I don't know, I gotta figure out. No, it's a separate channel. Or it's a separate profile. It's something. Anyway, it's Let's Make Stories from Scooter Town is how I search for it now. Beck Lane. Oh, there we go. So, it says Studio 120. Why does it say Studio 120? That's really weird. I could swear to God I had a channel named Let's Make. All right, I'll have to sort it out. But there's one of the videos. There's two of the videos. I'm doing these little book illustrations line by line. So we're sitting together in quiet, doing drawings line by line, little projects. They can be drawn on printer paper or whatever paper you have laying around. Nothing fancy. In fact, almost everything I use came from the dollar stores. I do have a couple of fancy pens right there, but I primarily use Sharpies that I get at the dollar store and toilet paper rolls to help everything stand up. They're really simple little projects, a nice way to distract yourself. And I'm talking in soft, like Mr. Rogers' voice. Let's see if we can. I want to give you a sample. I know we're going on 20 minutes. Come on. Oh, this one's let's make and draw after a chat about bullying. All right, I don't know why this isn't loading. All right, this is, sorry. Oh, wait a minute, it is playing. Okay, I don't know why it's doing. Oh, there we go. Do his left arm. His left arm, which is going to be the same as these guys. Okay, with his left hand. So that's what it is. It's soft tones. It's easy projects. They can be done using materials that are pretty much laying around everybody's house. If not, you can pick them up at the dollar store. Dollar store glue sticks, dollar store scissors, dollar store pencils, dollar store Sharpies. And paper, you don't even need fresh new paper. You can use whatever paper you have laying around. Maybe it's an old bill. But I've got one about making maps. I don't know. I think I made 30-something videos. I'll have to try and figure out how to link you to it. But if you look up, let's make Beck Lane stories from Scootertown, then these should pop up. There's a whole bunch of them. But we'll figure it out. Ugh. Okay, we'll figure it out. Anyway, that's it. We're going to build quiet space together and block out the world. And we'll... Oh, okay. And we'll have to figure out... I'll have to figure out Facebook and Instagram, but I can't right now. I can't. So let's be here together, all right? Ciao. I'm going to go drink my tea. 21 minutes. I meant to make a short video. What happened to me? That's what happened. All right. Let's go find some peace. Let's go light some incense and find some peace. All right? Ciao. Ciao. Right, Carrie? Ciao. Meow, meow, meow. Boink.